I'm going to show you the easiest way to start making more money as a photographer. I'll reveal how to increase your prices whilst making your clients thank you for it. And I can't think of an easier way to increase the profit in your photography business. You don't need to work longer hours or land twice as many clients. You just need to understand the simple way to increase your prices. When I started implementing these methods, I was able to go from charging $100 per shoot to regularly landing 4 and 5 figure jobs. And I'll show you why these methods work in any photography niche and why your location does not matter. This video is the second in a 5-part series dedicated to helping photographers book more clients whilst also charging higher prices. Make sure to subscribe to see the other videos. Now, there is a simple way to stand out and charge premium prices even if the economy is in a mess. A few years ago, I had a potential client contact me for some headshots. And in this situation, most photographers would say, sure, if you want some headshots, here's my pricing, here's my availability. Instead, I asked her why she wanted those headshots. What was she using them for? What did she hope to achieve with them? And it turns out she wanted them to post on social media and her website so she could attract more clients. I pointed out that a headshot is great for posting on your LinkedIn image, but you can't keep reposting the same headshot for months to come on social media. People will get bored of seeing it and will stop looking at her content. Instead, she would benefit better from a full suite of photographs. Different locations, different outfits, and that would give her months of content to post. We could set up a fake meeting so potential clients could visualize working with her. We could also find a nice, casual but professional environment so she appeared trustworthy but easy to work with. And instead of positioning my photography as just a bunch of images, I showed her how it could help her land more clients. And that way, I was able to upsell her onto a significantly more package, and she was happy to pay for it. Now, most photographers won't take the time to really understand what their client truly needs and desires, and it will be massively hurting your profits. I personally approach every new client from a place of I care about you and want to help you, instead of you pay this, you get this. Instead of seeing clients as a way to make money, you are truly helping them achieve their goals. And this is the key to earning more money as a photographer. We understand exactly what our clients want at a level deeper than just a bunch of photos. And throughout this video, we're going to uncover exactly how to do that. But first, there is something you really need to know about selling high prices. A few years ago, the Stanford Business School ran a study. They gave students a selection of wines to taste and told them the prices of each. However, they intentionally labelled the prices wrong. Students drank a $5 wine believing it was worth $45, and they drank a $90 wine believing it was only $10. The students thought the expensive wines all tasted better. The price they were shown had an impact on how much they enjoyed that wine. And this is due to a psychological bias called the price-quality heuristic. And people will subconsciously assume that a higher priced product is better than a lower priced one. The students thought the cheap wine tasted better because they were told it was more expensive. Now, your photography doesn't necessarily need to be better than your competition. If you have higher prices, potential clients will subconsciously think that your photography must be better. But if you get this next thing wrong, you will never make any profit in your business. In my early days as a photographer, I would throw prices out of thin air, whatever seemed to make sense for that job. And as a 22-year-old, I was stoked to be charging a few hundred for a shoot. But there was a big problem. When I took into account my travel costs, my time spent editing, my camera gear, I realised that I'd earn more money if I got a job in McDonald's. Now I'm going to give you a super simple exercise to fix this. If you want this template, it will be available down below in the video description. This is something called the cost of doing business, and the idea is really simple. First, we calculate all of your monthly expenses. You add up things like buying new gear, paying software costs, paying for a phone connection, and this will tell us exactly how much money we spend in our business each month. Then we look at the different services that we offer, and we estimate how many we can sell each year. Next, we add the costs to fulfill these services, and this could include travel costs, editing costs, prints, second shooters, and so on. And if you offer upsells to your services, add the average amount per job. Finally, how many weeks off per year do you want, and how much profit do you want to make in your business? And what percentage do you pay in tax? And this will show you exactly how much money you could be making with your current prices. If your prices are too low, you will instantly know it. But most photographers get stuck with low-paying clients, and they're a nightmare to deal with. And conventional advice is just put your prices up. And you might have even tried that and your leads dried up. Instead, we need to understand why people pay premium prices, and that way you can guarantee to keep getting clients even when you put your prices up. Let's say you wanted to get some dental work done. You've searched the market and found 2 dentists. One is fresh out of dental school and hasn't worked with any patients yet. The other has been working full-time as a dentist for the last 30 years. Who do you think is more likely to get the job done properly? Surely the person with 30 years of experience. And because you perceive a higher chance of success with that dentist, they can charge higher prices. Of course, years of experience isn't necessarily the only important thing. That dentist with 30 years of experience might have gotten lazy and start to cut corners. So you look at other things to show they can deliver the results. For example, you might look up reviews for the dentist. If they have 100 5-star reviews on Google, you'd assume they're going to be pretty good at their job. Now, as you work with clients and as you get them results, think of it like winning trophies. Each happy client gives you another trophy to display in your cabinet. But if you hide away your trophy cabinet from the world, nobody's ever going to see it. So instead, we want to start displaying our trophies. And this isn't just the images in your portfolio, but it could also be your reviews, testimonials, awards, case studies, published work. And when people see these trophies displayed, their perceived likelihood of achievement will go up, so they will be willing to pay more money. The more trophies you can display, the more money you can charge. And in the next video in this series, I'll show you exactly how to display these trophies on your website. But as you start to collect and display your trophies, you can raise your prices. Every few trophies that you collect, I would try bumping up your prices 10 to 25%. And that way you can go from charging a few hundred to a few thousand per shoot without fear of losing clients. Now look, I can't tell you the exact dollar amount to charge per session. Every market is different, and some types of photography can demand higher prices than other types. But I would look at this simple rule of thumb. Look at what the average photographer in your area charges. When you dial everything in, you could probably charge about 5 to 10 times the average. But many photographers make a huge mistake when pricing their photography, and it's costing them a ton of money. Yet, a simple children's story can fix it. Let me explain. The children's story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears features a moment where she explores the bear's house. She then tries out their 3 different beds. The first is too hard, the second too soft, and the third is just right. And that just right moment is where she finds the perfect balance between hard and soft. And we can apply this to our photography pricing. It's something called the Goldilocks principle. We offer multiple pricing options to customers, a low end, a medium, and a high end option. And you will see this pricing strategy in action everywhere. Netflix, Starbucks, Squarespace, Disney, they all use it. The idea is to make the middle choice the just right option. It doesn't have to be too much nor too little. The cheapest option should be lacking something that your clients want. For example, let's say 90% of your clients want their images editing. You could include image editing in the middle package, but not the cheaper package. The expensive package will be too much for most clients. It will include things they don't want or really need. But by including it, it will anchor the price in people's minds. By comparing the most expensive package to the medium package now seems like a bargain, so they will go with that. To apply this to photography, we need to think about what we can offer to our clients. Here's a few things you could consider adding to your different packages. Speed. How fast do you deliver the images? Could you include a rush option? Location. If it's in your studio or on location. The number of locations covered. Delivery. How do you deliver files? Is it online, USB, prints, albums, etc.? Upsells. Behind the scenes content, wardrobe consultations, hair and makeup. Licensing. How and where can they use the images? Session length based on the time spent photographing. Number of images delivered. Photographing tethered. Can you hook up your camera to a computer and show them images on a big screen? Level of image editing. No retouching, light or heavy retouching. Additional photographers or assistants. And this is the basic level of pricing for photographers, creating different options based on what a client receives. Remember, we want to make the cheapest package not quite enough for most people. The middle package should be the most appealing, and the expensive package contains more than most people will ever need. And when you're new to photography, this is a great way to price. It's quick, it's easy, and it can help you land clients. But there is a big problem with pricing this way. It's pricing based on output. You are saying this is what you get and this is how much it costs. And nobody wants to overpay for anything. If they can get that same output from another photographer for less money, they will go with them instead. So we want to make you stand out and become the only possible option for that client. And to achieve that, we need to understand how to price based on value. Now, most photographers ignore this step, but it's really, really important. It will make sales calls effortless. You'll know exactly what to say to leads and how to get them to sign up and pay premium prices. Plus, it will be far easier to stand out even in a competitive market. We need to understand what is it we actually offer to clients. Because remember, it's more than just a bunch of photos. Maybe clients will come away from a shoot feeling more confident in themselves. Maybe they will increase their business's revenue. Maybe they can look back and treasure those memories for years to come. And I want to show you some questions to help you understand the real value that you bring to your clients. And once you understand how to truly add this value to your clients, you can charge premium prices easily. And if you want this template, it's available down below in the video description. We don't want to answer these questions with surface level answers. The key is to ask yourself why as many times as possible. For example, why would a client want professional headshots? To update their LinkedIn profile. And why do they want to do that? Because they want to be seen as more professional. Well, why do they want to be seen as professional? because they want to land more clients. Why? Because their business isn't growing fast enough. This is the core of the problem and why they want photography. You're not just selling them headshots, you're selling them a way to help them grow their business. Now let's dig into a few more questions that you need to answer. And remember, for each of these, try and dig as deep as possible. Keep asking why until you can't find any more answers. What are the tangible benefits to buying your photography? This could include like the number of images they get, but it could also include the results that they can expect by purchasing your images. For example, for a business, they could increase their revenue by having high quality images. What are the intangible benefits? And these are things that can't easily be measured, such as feelings. For example, maybe your client will feel more confident about themselves after they have photographs that they love. What pains are they trying to avoid by purchasing your photography? Think of what it would cost them if they don't buy your photography. Now, this might not be necessarily a financial cost, but this could be an emotional cost. For example, if somebody doesn't buy wedding images, years later down the line, they might forget how important that special day was. They might forget what it felt like to walk down the aisle, but your images would remind them of that. How much better will their life be if they buy your photography? So think about the ways in which their life would improve by having your images. What fears will your photography solve for them? What problems will be solved by purchasing your photography? How will your photography move the client from a place of pain to a place of pleasure? Humans naturally try to avoid pain at all costs. So if we can figure out how to help them avoid pain, it would be a lot easier to sell them on our photography. For example, the professional portraits that I offer might help them land more clients. So this moves them away from the pain of having no clients and not enough bookings to being in a place where they have all the clients they want and they can build the business that they enjoy. What is every problem a client might experience after hiring a photographer? For example, they don't know how to pose, they don't know what to wear, they don't know what the difference is between print sizes, how to download photos, etc. How can you create solutions for the above problems? For example, you can help them with posing on the day. You can give them a guide for choosing different outfits. You could do a remote Zoom consultation to help them pick outfits. Heck, you could even offer them a consultation with a professional stylist. How can you minimize the delay between purchase and the client seeing results? This could include things like providing helpful resources, templates, tools, etc. to make their photo shoot go easier. What do they really want to achieve by purchasing our photography? Why do they need to buy photography right now? How much better will their life become if they buy our photography? All of these questions will help you to increase the value that you offer for your client. When we know what they really want, we can mention it on sales calls, in emails, on social media, and it will help us to attract dream clients. By showing that you understand what the client values and needs, it will massively differentiate you from every other photographer in your area. Clients will be happy to pay you a premium because you get them. You know what their fears are, their dreams are, and most importantly, why they want to purchase photography. But you also understand what they don't want. For example, a customer might not want to choose their own outfits. They might hate making those decisions, or they might not want to do their own makeup. When you speak to clients, you can mention this. If you don't want to do your own makeup, I can bring in a makeup artist. And the right person would jump at that opportunity because you're making their life a lot easier. You would be offering value that other photographers have not thought about. And in the next video in this series, I will talk about how to showcase that value on your website. But for now, let's look at how to include that value within your pricing. And this is so easy that photographers will wonder why they have never done it before. Because once you do it, you'll be able to quickly increase your prices and land more clients. When I started out with photography, I was booking jobs for $100, and I've since landed jobs for up to $19,000. And to be honest, I don't have some special talent. I think my images are pretty average, but I was able to charge so much because I knew how to price things and communicate that value to the client. Now, I believe that there are two different approaches that every photographer should take with their pricing. We want clients to buy the things they need and nothing that they don't need. We aren't trying to squeeze every single penny of profit out of them, but we are guiding them through to reaching their dream outcome. Now, a few years ago, I offered packages for my actors' headshots. I would include a certain number of edited images with the package, and people could buy extra images if they desired, but nobody ever did. I then transitioned to a base fee for the sessions with no images included. They could purchase as many as they wanted, or as few images as they wanted. And the first client came in with a daughter. She forgot to bring in any extra outfits, and we just had to shoot in one black t-shirt. We shot for a while, and then we went through the images together. And after a few passes, we boiled it down to about 12 images. I looked at them and was thinking, damn, they're all pretty similar. There were some differences between them, but not a lot. And I was expecting her to buy maybe 3 at most. And then she said something that shocked me. Yeah, we'll take them all. And instantly, that session made me triple what I would normally have made. And she was happy to pay for it. She didn't argue or try to reduce the number of photos. She just saw 12 images that she loved and wanted to buy them all. And if someone wants to spend more money, we should give them the opportunity to do so. So I personally use 2 different pricing strategies. For studio sessions, I will offer a choice of 3 different packages for the shoot and then upsell them with the number of photos later on. The packages typically vary depending on how long the session is, how fast the images are delivered, but no photos are included in any package. And this means they can buy as many or as few images as they want. And these studio sessions make good money, but they aren't the biggest money maker for my business. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes. And if you worry, well, what if they only buy 1 photo? Here's the trick. Price your session fee plus 1 photo at the price of your old packages. When you come to selling the photos, you can talk about the value that they get from each image. For example, with my acting headshots, I would capture a range of different outfits and expressions. I would ask them what kind of roles they typically go for, and then find images that would match those roles. I could say something like, well, if you want a more serious role, these 3 images would be the best ones to go with. But if you wanted to play a policeman, then this one would work best. However, for a slightly less serious role, this other one gives off the right vibe. And that way I wasn't trying to just sell them random images, but specifically selecting ones which would help them reach their ultimate goal, which would be to get hired as an actor. If you ask someone before the shoot, do you want 5 or 8 photos? It would be almost impossible for them to make that decision. And most people would just go with 5 because it's cheaper. But when they're looking at 8 photos on the screen and they love all 8 photos, they will buy all 8 photos. But for location work, I will always create custom quotes. And these are the biggest moneymaker in my business. I'll get on the phone and speak to the client, and I will figure out what they actually want. Yes, they want photos, but why do they want them? How can I help them achieve their goal? And by doing all of the value pricing questions earlier on, I know what sort of pain points to speak to. Then I will look at what I can include and write a custom proposal for them. And this prevents us from being seen as a commodity. We've taken the time to truly understand where they're at and what they really need. And this proposal will cover the goal of the shoot, what's included, an overview of how it would work, timelines, example photos, possibly a mood board, and finally the prices. And this helps me tailor the shoot to exactly what they need. That way, when I pitch the solution, I can make sure to reference their specific needs and pain points. And the easiest way to do this is to think of a feature they get and then add "so you can." This turns a plain feature into a benefit for the client. For example, through the shoot we will capture a few hundred photos, so you can choose the ones that match perfectly for the roles you want to apply for. And in video 5 of this series, I will go into the full client process in detail, and I'll explain how to conduct those sales calls step by step. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe.